Yeah, somebody at all times, please remind me to record because I sometimes am too over anxious to talk a lot. I like talking to people. Remember that I was exempted from doing oral presentations in school till one day when my creator said it's time now to talk, and then I started talking and I never stopped yet. It's scary. So the basics of gift of legacy: sow the seeds. A rejection is not a rejection of you as a messenger. You're just a messenger. It's a rejection of the message. They're not ready yet for the message. A couple Wednesdays ago, Chris explained how you send out the link tree, and if people reject it, it's the message of the link tree that they're rejecting. It's not you. They may be ready later on, and then you send it out to them again. The basics of gift of legacy is to sow the seeds and find like-minded and like-hearted people that can build a lineage. Gift of legacy is about building a lineage, and that is what we are doing on the 5 different dream lineages that we are involved in very closely, and also on the Dream Community Project. I'm involved in 27 different very strong lineages. It's a slow process, but it's sustainable if everybody do that. But if you don't get your 2 people in, that is a requirement. You must get 2 people in to progress to the next board. If it takes a bit longer, as long as there's communication, there's a lot of little group chats that I'm in. We motivate each other. Sometimes the board stands still for 4 weeks or 8 weeks, and then suddenly somebody gets on. We tell them from a gifted position you can invite, and they get 2 on, and then the board splits off. That board works fast, and it splits into the other half of the board. There's various ways to work it. As long as you understand, it is not at the speed of light. Do everything properly at the right speed, at the right time. If somebody says no, understand it's not a no against you. It's a message that they don't understand yet. And in future, you can work on them again. To get the 2 in, there's various ways. Some of us got thousands in, some of us got 2 in, some of us still struggling with the first one. Don't be scared to ask for help. We've got a motivational group where a lot of people post very nice stuff, but you can also ask a question there. Or if you don't want to do it in a group, send a question to somebody that you think may answer it. I posted the motivational call of 7 o'clock in the groups already. A person like Andrew, who we pulled in, who completely unprepared, start talking about the subject that I give him. Completely unprepared. Next week he'll be prepared because I'm giving him a week to prepare for the next one. The first 2 was totally unprepared. He speaks from the heart. He speaks his truth. And you may not always see the truth the same as him. Remember, everybody's different. We explained tonight, everybody is created individually. Your perception of the truth may be a bit different. But sometimes to listen to somebody else's truth may be very, very helpful. Your truth may be a little bit off center and you pull it straight. Or you can understand how somebody else sees or perceives the truth. So the basic of gift of legacy is get yourself on a board, give the legend $100, and then go find your 2 or 3 or 4, or how many ever people you want to do, and sign them up. If it takes 4 months, if it takes a year, it doesn't matter. I've got some profiles where I've got 12 or 17 in my T's on. That's how it works. They carry on their own speed. That specific profile, my people, the 17 got their 2s in, so there's 34 pushing me up slowly but surely. It's no race. Go at the speed that we're going. Now, this brings me to the submarine. We frequently find it very difficult to close boards. We also recently moved 4 people over for committed positions to the cruise, and we found out that the one Boulder couldn't log in. We sorted that out. So it took a few days more than normal to finish the boarding call A. On the submarine, because of the amount of open boarding calls, we started little groups on Telegram. And I can tell you now, get away from WhatsApp. We are working on Telegram. There's more functions there. What I'm going to do now with the current open boarding calls is to start a little group for each of the boards, get a photo and see what the status is, and then get it done. And then from the next legend on the list, which would have been boarding call 220 of 1024. Oh, there's people unmuted. Let me mute them quickly. Is that all? All right, they're all muted. Carmen, they're all muted now. So the next legends, I already asked in the group for photos of your boards, which did not come forward. The next 10 that I asked for, only one sent the photo. So firstly, I am going to open a chat group with the legend's name and put him in the group. You will then post a photo of the board so that I can see that the 7 people is on the board. If not, the strategy to fill the board is a bit different because of trickle up. So we'll have, instead of 2 boarding calls, we may have 3 and sometimes 4. So it all depends now on the legend if you're going to get a boarding call or not. If you don't post a photo of the board in the group, I don't build a boarding call for that board. Secondly, once the photo of the board is in the group, I will then add the 2 guides and I will add the 4 builders. And now, because you decided 2,200 of you that you are not going to bring in people, you will work on your own board. There's 7 of you on the board. There's 3 options. You invite somebody, the legend will still sponsor you in with $87.50. Or you take another spot as a gifter, or you sponsor somebody in. That fills 7 of the spots. The sponsors profiles will then fill position number 8. That is how we're going to work from future. So I'm going to summarize. I will open the group with the legend's name. I will ask for a photo of the board. Once a photo is posted, I will add the 2 guides and the 4 builders. You will then have the opportunity to work on that board by either inviting a person in each of your 7, where the legend will sponsor you $87.50. You will sponsor yourself in, or take another position, or you will sponsor somebody else in order charity. And the sponsorship profiles will take position number 8. The monthly positions will be allocated either to one of those boards as position number 8, or we will select boards of the 80 people who's currently taking monthly positions. If they're on a board, we will immediately fill that board with a boarding call A and a boarding call B, if all 7 people is on. So the people who's been working with us for the last 7 months, bringing on people and taking additional spots every month or every 2 months, or even 8 once every 4 months, doesn't matter. People that's been working, we will help them with their boards. Other people, we will help with position number 8. So it's time now that everybody starts putting up their socks, getting their backsides into gear, fasten your seatbelts on the submarine, and dive deep with me. Myself, Liana, Bobby, Festina, Andrew, and the 80 committed people that's been working hard. Dusty is also here. Now needs your input. It's time that you dive with us. I don't want to take 80 people into the depths of the ocean with a submarine. I want to take 2,300 people who's currently on the file into the depths of the submarine. So that is how it's going to work from now. Also in the group chats, your screenshots that up to this stage went to Yanni will be posted in the group or the board chat or the group chat for that specific board. So you don't send it to Yanni anymore. With the amount of capturings he's doing, it's sometimes very confusing because a person may be on two different boards and she must then go figure out how to capture the username. So you will, once you register, the moment you register, you will post a photo of the board with your information block so that I know what the full name of the profile is, and then Yanni or sometimes myself or Christina or Liana, if she can find time, will capture that. That is as simple as that. Get the photos in. Once the board is finished, we will hand over ownership to Christina, who will archive the group for future reference. There's 2 new boards after the split, and then you can carry on working on that. I'll open up a new board or a new group chat for the 2 new boards, and we do the same thing. 7 people, each get 1 person in, and the sponsorship profile will take number 8, or a committed monthly position. That is as easy as that. So it's now time that you work. We've done our part. We're in the 9th month. We're approaching the 9th birthday of Gift of Legacy. And the amount of hours that I've put into this is way more than anybody else has put in. And very close behind me is Liana. She needs a bit more sleep than me, but she puts in nearly as many hours. And Festina and all the other people that put in their time. We lost a huge amount of profiles due to people not logging in, and now they're shouting, we want our profiles back. The one we traced back logged in 3 months ago. I can't help you people. I'm not an administrator of Gift of Legacy. I'm not part of the development team. The rule is you must log in once every 30 days. You get a warning on 14 days, on 7 days and 48 hours on an email. If you didn't log in, your profile is gone. You'll have to take another profile. That is all I've got to say. Is Liana on? Let's just check quickly. Liana, are you on?
Hi, Stefan. We are on.
Liana, anything you want to add before we open up for questions?
Not at this point, Stefan. Thank you.
Okay, you happy with the way that I inform the crew that they're going to start working now?
Stefan, the only thing that confused me a bit was the boarding calls. Is there a necessity for boarding calls if we're working on the boards, all on the individual boards?
Monthly positions.
Yes, there's monthly positions, committed positions, which come in at bunches, and we may not have enough boards to put them on. If there's 8, then we put them on one boarding call. Selectively on a profile or on a board where we've got 2 or 3 or 4 people who has been working for the last 9 months.
Okay, so boarding calls won't come out if we're working on a board where we're placing the 8th person, but it will be for the monthly positions and committed positions. Is that right?
Yes, we will use monthly positions to sometimes fill position number 8. With the current committed monthly positions, we can do 80 boards like that. So if 80 people work on their boards, yes, we can take the 8th position. But if there's only 40 working, then we're going to have a little bit of an overlap of people who wants to take their monthly positions. And then between myself and Liana, you and Festina, we will sit and go through the file and go look at the next legend who is worthy of receiving gifters on their board. So it's not only going to depend on the legend, we will also look at the guide. So I need 2 or 3 people who have been working on the submarine for the last 9 months, and then we will work that board with a boarding call. The file, we will still have to number the boards. So there will still be a boarding call number, but the boarding call won't go out because the people will work on the board themselves.
Thank you, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, there's a question from Cheryl. Would the sponsor profiles also need to bring in more people over and above the people profiles they are committing to bring in by being on the sponsorship program? Cheryl, that question is not 100% clear. The sponsorship profiles took more than enough positions on their own without using sponsorship funds. It was in a private capacity. Bobby Dog got profiles that he gave dates, which he wants to hand over to organizations and to friends. I've got a huge amount of profiles, which is called Deep Dive or Angel Guide, which is also sponsor profiles. So the sponsor profiles is covered over and over again. We will sponsor other people in and we will sponsor charities in. So the sponsorship file is still going to run. If we feel that position 8 must go to somebody who needs a profile and they were nominated and they filled the contract, we will then put them in position 8. If it's a charity, we will put them in position number 8. On the board, we will, or on the chat group, we will request a link. If it's any award that I want to give out or anybody else we want to sponsor in, it will come from the sponsorship profiles. There's a huge amount of them. I think I've got about 100 of them. Diana got the 3 plus a few others. Bobby frequently takes more positions for other people. Festina is running Auxilio. Andrew is running Seeds of Love. They're all going to get positions there. We will. Seeds of Love got 2,000 people that needs to be sponsored in. We're loading them very frequently. So that is what the sponsorship profiles is for. Yeah, NPO profiles, yes, they're going to get profiles. Okay, Carmen, your hand is up.
Sorry, Stefan, it's Leona. Can I just jump in before we give Carmen a choice?
Yes.
Sorry, I was just on the phone. I've got a little bit of an incident at home between a dog that attacked my dog, but it's all sorted.
She won the fight.
So, she did win the fight, but now the guy's finger got bitten, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, but anyways, all sorted. Stefan, you're also going forward, when we go off the list and we select the next board on the list, I mean, we're not going to jump boards. We're going to start a Telegram group with everyone on that board. That would be the legend, the 2 guides, and the 4 builders. And those people then have to help us close and move that board. And the main reason I'm speaking very honest and blunt with the community, and we've always had full disclosure. I do know the post I've posted yesterday, there were, I think, 3 people that found Stefan weren't happy about my post. It's fine, but we cannot sit in a position any longer where we've got 80 people trying to build on a lineage with 2,000 individuals. Never mind 9,000 profiles, 2,000 individuals, and we've got 80 people building there. We are not going to go anywhere. And it's not fair to those 80 to move 2,000. I mean, we've got people on monthly spots that only joined in compartment 13. So those guys are taking monthly spots, but they only builders currently. So why it would be easier for those guys to work on their board directly. So the approach we'll take is we'll do a group with the board, post the board. And for me, I'm going to be honest, the best way to move that board is there's 7 people on the board. If 7 people each invite 1 person, or those 7 people decide they can't find one, they sponsor in 1 person, or they take 1 spot themselves, it's up to them. And then the 8th we'll try to fill with a monthly sponsorship position, or the sponsor profiles, or somebody that's got a committed monthly spot. Then we close that board. But there's going to be boards that we're going to work on 10 boards simultaneously. Board number 8, 9, and 10 might close in a day because the 7 people on that board decide they want to move on. They build this community, they drive and work on this community. Board number 1 can sit for a month. I'm just doing a prediction here. I'm not saying it will happen because maybe all 7 people on that board decide not to work. We can then not expect the monthly people to work that board. It's not fair. I know there's a lot of people that's brought in a lot of people, and we're thankful and grateful for them. And I know then when we do come to those boards, they are the guys that's going to keep working. They're the guys that's going to say, right, we're now on my board. Come guys, let's move and let's push this board. But that is so it's not you that decide on which board we work, or I that decide on which board we work, or Festina decides on which board we work. We are working on the boards down the list like we've always had, but we are pulling in the people on that board to contribute and work on that board with us. Sorry, I've missed a few of your speeches like before. Like I said, I was on the phone, so I don't know if I've repeat anything that you have actually just said. Bobby just shakes his head and he says, yeah, you've just repeat everything Stefan said. So sorry about that. But yeah, I think it's important for the community to realize at some point we also have to support the people that is working and is building. And I know some guys can't take a monthly spot. It's all right. When we come to your board, maybe we're going to come to your board and you're going to say, I can't take a spot this month. And then Stefan, you and I are going to put on the group and say, board people, Leona can't take a monthly spot, but you know what? She's brought 30 people to this community. And maybe somebody else on that board's going to say, you know what? I'll sponsor a second spot because Leona has built in this community. It's now my turn. But it's literally just going to help us a little bit with accountability and commitment from everyone and not just a handful of people.
Yeah, Leona, you basically repeated what I said, but it's good that they can hear it out of your own mouth. We had this discussion shortly after 6 this afternoon, and there was no time to prepare anything, and you said exactly what I said. So the people understand that we're seeing from the right eyes. Okay, Rocky, I see your hand. Just give me a second. Carmen, you had your hand up. Do you want to say something? Carmen have connectivity issues. Okay,
Sorry,
you on?
I've got issues at the moment. So if I drop off, I apologize. I just wanted to check. So if we do the board, like I'm just talking for me. I'm on now, the board is split. I'm now a builder. I've come on the last moments with all my spots at the moment. Super committed, monthly spots, all that amazing stuff to keep us driving and diving. My question is, so I'm a builder now. There's 7 people on the board. I take my committed monthly spot as my spot. Cool. Board splits, move up to guard. Do I then need to take another monthly spot? And then the board splits, and then legend also take a monthly spot. I'm just trying to understand how it will work for the individual. Am I right in assuming
the
that?
idea is to invite. The idea is to invite. So if the board splits, the 7 people on that board, 3 of them already got people invited, which is now then sitting in the builder position. We've got 10 minutes left, so we'll have to rush. So we've got 3 people who already invited somebody. The other 4 will have to get people that they invite. So the board as a whole works together. If the legend got somebody extra, he will ask one of the builders for a link and we load that person on there. The board works as a group. That's how it's going to work. Every time it splits, there's 4 new people and 3 old ones. You work together as a group, you communicate, and you build what you can. If you get stuck somewhere along the way for a while, contact me. And if needed, the sponsorship profiles will sponsor 2 positions in. If a board is split once, I am willing from my sponsor positions to sponsor 2 on the next board. That's not too much of a challenge. But the idea is to get the people on the board to start working together to get momentum going as it was till about 3 months ago. But the challenge we've got is that 80 people is currently pulling 2,000 people towards higher boards at a very sustainable speed. And the 2,220 that gets pulled along does nothing. They don't tell anybody about Gift of Legacy or the submarine or gifting communities. That is the idea with this.
Okay, that's perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. And that makes perfect sense. Thank you, Stefan. I appreciate it.
We will still be in all the chat groups till the board is split. And then on the split, we'll make 2 new groups. The old group will be archived, and then we will be in the new groups as well. We will guide you. We will help you. We will assist. We will give motivational posts and comments. We will advise you how to get the people to understand what we're doing.
Sorry, Stefan, I just want to jump in. Carmen, somebody like you with your monthly spots, this is going to benefit you directly, because we're going to work on a board where you're a builder. You're going to take your monthly spots or invite. You're going to motivate those people. We're going to motivate them. That board's going to fill and close. In 2 or 3 weeks' time, you're going to say, right, guys, let's work on the next board. You can go through to Legends and Perpetual in 4 to 6 weeks, where if you have to wait for the whole compartment and 80 people to push it, it will take you 6 to 9 months. So the people that's working their board is going to move quicker than the people that's not working their board. But the benefit we've got is we're still staying within the submarine lineage. So you still got the benefit of moving with the lineage. You're not moving on your own. And so this is why this is going to really, the people that work, it's going to benefit those guys. And that's what we have to do.
Oh, that's amazing, Liana. So basically, we're not working per compartment anymore then, because that was going to be my next question. We're now working boards. We're working together in the lineage, but we are not working like going through the boarding calls from 1 to 1,500 or whatever it is.
That's
Exactly.
correct.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Okay, Cheryl, you had your hand up at one stage. We've got 6.5 minutes left. Do you have a question?
My question was just around that sponsorship question that I asked. I was referring to the NPOs. Were they expected to also work the boards the same way by bringing in people over and above them sponsoring other people in as per the contract?
Yes, they're bringing people in.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
But
That's all I
Cheryl-
wanted to clarify. Yeah.
Cheryl, of
Kana
course, we're gonna help
Foundation
you.
got their 4
We can
people
help.
in. The sponsorship profiles got people in. We are sorted. We know what to do. We know how to operate the system. Liana, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say to Cheryl, of course, if we start working on a board now and all 4 the builders is the SPCA and, you know, all our charities and your charities. I'm not going to say to you, right, Cheryl, now bring 8 people right now. We're going to work with you. We're going to say to the monthly guys, we're working on a board that's got 4 charities. Who wants to help push this board? We're going to see what the sponsorship can do. Maybe you're going to say, okay, I've got a $25 this month. I'm taking 2 new NPAs on the board. So we're going to take it board by board like that and work it. So we're not going to let you hang. Those charities are close to us as well. Don't stress. And for
Great.
instance,
Thank you, Liana.
for instance, Liana, me, I don't want to take any more spots for myself. So if I do my monthly committed position, I'm going to sponsor 2 in, and then I'm going to say, right, Cheryl, I'm putting 2 in, and we're putting it on a board where your NPOs is under your NPOs. That's how we're going to keep working it.
We've got 4.5 minutes left. Rocky, you got a question? You typed out here. This announcement is for the first branch board, but if you go back to the training recordings, where I frequently said you are allowed to work on your perpetual board if you want to. Very easy to do that. If you're in legend position, you can take yourself another position and just confirm it. Or you can get somebody else invited on a perpetual board. There's nothing stopping you from working on a perpetual board as well. And then on the first boards, this is the way we're going to work. On the perpetual boards, if anybody wants a position on a perpetual board, I'll find the best board for you at that stage. I've got somebody today who took 2 positions on 2 different boards. They will register tomorrow morning. And then the rest of the submarine will push them up. It's up to you how you operate your boards. If you're on a perpetual board, feel free to ask me to open a board chat and we will work the board together. The current
Stefan.
open boarding calls obviously is going to go with version 2s. 2 specific perpetual boards on the list. We still work down the list. So if you finish your first board, you can't go to silver because you don't have $400. When the board is closed, we will give you a version 2 position on the list, down on the list, on the board that we're currently working on. Fill that board. The effect of the first boards where people work together will flow through to the perpetual boards, to the second bronze boards and the third bronze boards, and some people who's already on the 4th bronze boards. Does
Quick
that answer your
question.
question, Rocky?
No, my question is simple. I've got 35, 40 odd positions on the submarine. Does that mean that I'm now going to feature on that number of Telegram profiles? I mean, you're going to open up different Telegram
Yes.
group for
Yes.
each.
Every board will get a separate chat group.
So I'll be on 40 Telegram groups.
You're not on 40 different boards, Rocky.
Well, I'm on 37.
Then you'll be on 37 groups. I've got 700 of them going.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Just wanted to check.
Rocky, but we're not going to work on a 2,000 boards simultaneously. We're still going to work from the top to the bottom. So we might open the first 20 boards, spend 5-6 days, work on them, close what we can, then open the next 20. So I'm not going to add you tomorrow morning to 37 groups because then we're all going to lose the plot. So we're still going to work structurally and make sure we build sustainably. But like I said to Lorna now, if her board's not one that's coming up now, and she wants us to, because she wants to invite. I said to her, Lorna, send me a picture of the board. I'm starting a group. We'll help you with that board. So we're not going to stop the guys lower down that says, right, we're ready to push it right now. But the stop guys, we're going to push. We're going to start the group and we're going to start pushing there. So we're not going to hand this just to the community and say, right, you're free now, do what you want. We're still going to structurally push it, but we're not going to open 3,000 Telegram groups tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll do it step by step. It's going to be a few groups to start with the current open boards, and then I'll open 5 or 6 during the next 24 hours, and then we'll add them. You will be added in a group. Once you're in a group, just say hello, and then from there on we take it. We've got less than a minute left. Everybody out that's easy recorded, I will post it. If you've got any questions, post in the group or send a private message. Everybody shout bye-bye, unmute yourself, shout bye, and then I'll post the recording as soon as it is converted.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. That's how they laugh at. Leave meeting.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.